This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
Gun legislation needs to be changed, and until that happens, walkouts and things will continue to happen. We'll continue to have voices, we'll continue to protest and have marches.
Students across the nation and here in town walked out of schools in a show of solidarity. How they made their voices heard and their message tops Channel 2 News at 5 o'clock. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kristen Remington. Landon is off tonight. Calling again for action on gun control. It's the 19th anniversary of the Columbine shooting in Colorado. Chris Buckley spoke with students that participated today. And Chris, what was the turnout like this time?
Well, Kristen, it wasn't as big of a turnout as last month's walkout in support of victims of the Florida school shooting, but groups at different schools did show up. They did leave class, some for a moment of silence, some to make their voices heard.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. On Friday, more than 24 Reno High students walked out of class and didn't come back.
We're taking unexcused absences today.
They spent the rest of the school day on the sidewalk in front of the school, rallying for stricter gun laws and safer schools.
We can see that peaceful protests throughout history have helped to create change, and we as students do have a voice, and we should be using them, and we should be exercising our right to create change.
They also held a school supply drive.
So we can also promote the positive aspect of getting educational funding rather than just looking at the negative aspect of how gun violence is affecting students.
Over at Hug High, students had planned a moment of silence followed by speeches on campus, but that didn't end up happening.
We were told to get off campus, yes, because otherwise we'd be disrupting the school. I don't feel like we're disrupting anybody. Nobody's out of class right now. It's not passing period.
The students moved the gathering to a sidewalk just outside.
Well, if they don't want to stay, they don't want to stay, and we're going to go somewhere where we can talk to the people who do support us.
These students had a limited time to get their messages across.
To commemorate Columbine, as well as to, if nothing else, silently protest the fact that no gun legislation has been passed and no gun laws have changed since Parkland.
It's just really important to us that we don't fear for our lives on campus, and this is one of the places that we're supposed to feel safe most.
When the next bell rang, they all went back to class.
My mom taught me really well, and I'm not ditching school just to ditch school. It's bigger than that. It's more important than that.
And you're going back in, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the Washoe County School District did send out a letter to parents about these planned walkouts earlier this week, saying students that participated would be marked absent or tardy, and they encourage parents to have a discussion with their kids. Covering the story live in the studio, Chris Buckley, Channel 2 News.
All right, Chris.